Hello everyone, this is an overview video about Catacombs Fortress of Nazemoor, the latest dexterity dungeon crawler that I've put together here. You can see there are two versions. This is the big box version, okay, and this is the expansion version, all right? Now these boxes are samples, they're not final yet, but it should give you kind of an idea about the relative sizes of each. Obviously, the expansion assumes that you own Catacombs Third Edition, okay? Which is back here. Well, this is the big box version of it, but a suitable version of Catacombs Third Edition. Okay, so I'm now going to give you an overview of the components of Fortress, okay? This is our playmat that's set up here, and these playmats are double-sided. So there's another one of them here. But you can see that it is also double-sided. On the playmat, we have our heroes that start behind the start zone line here, okay? And we have our monsters, and they start in their zone behind their line over on this side, okay? There's also these obstacle pieces, and these are placed at the start and don't move during the course of the game. There's these obstacle location icons, and we place the obstacles on top of those. There are also crates, 6 of them, and these are placed again at the start of the game on the playmat. There's some placement rules, won't get into all of them, but the bottom line is that they're going to be placed adjacent to these rune icons. And these particular playmats have all 12 rune icons printed on them, okay? Now, unlike the obstacles, the crates are going to shift around during the course of the game, okay? Number of players. There's 4 players in total. 3 players control the party of 3 heroes, and 1 player controls the monsters. The objective for the heroes is to defeat the monsters on this side of the playmat in the monster start zone, okay? The objective for the overseer is for all of the heroes to be incapacitated, downed, basically their health tracks reduced to right the way down to 0, okay? Another condition for the end of the game is all 6 crates being opened. And both the heroes and the overseer player can open the crates. Now I'm going to give you an overview of the heroes. So we have this hero here. You can see he has a health track. He has a portrait card, a rules card, and an item card. He also starts the game with some gold coins and also these shot tokens, okay? Now, you can see 3 of the heroes here, but there are another 3 heroes that the game includes. Now, the rules cards that we are looking at are the A rules cards, but every hero also has a B rules card, which incorporates some of the more advanced features of the game, including attributes, okay? So to come back here, at the start of the game, this hero drafted this particular item card, okay? And there's some drafting rules such that at the beginning of the game, the heroes do come equipped with some items, all right? So this is unlike Catacombs Third Edition, where heroes would either explicitly start with items statically, or they would purchase them later from the merchant. So all Catacombs games are based on flicking. So during your turn, you are going to flick the hero that you control. And this hero can ricochet around, and hopefully it's going to, your hero disc will hit successfully hit one of the monsters. All right. So if I flick my piece, sometimes I'm just moving and there's no damage inflicted. This is called a rush shot. On the other hand, most shots, when I flick my piece and that piece hits an opposing piece directly, and that's typically like a melee shot, and that would inflict a point of damage on that opposing piece, usually a monster. Okay. There are also range shots, and range shots are performed by placing the disc for the given range shot, in this case a fireball, adjacent to the hero piece and flicking it. Okay, whether that piece hits an opposing monster or not, it's removed from the board after that range shot is complete. Okay, so range shots are very, very useful to be able to hit things from a distance while keeping your hero, in a position of safety, hopefully behind cover. Okay. Now the monsters also perform their shots. Okay, and these monster cards summarize what the shots can do. Sorry, what the monsters can do. Okay, so these shots are organized into shot sequences, and they are read from left to right. So you saw some like a shot sequence on that hero's rules card that I was describing earlier, and here's some more examples of them here. Okay, so in this particular instance, this particular level 1 monster only has a single shot, a bite shot in this case, but this particular level 2 monster has 2 shots. A rush shot first, which again, a character shot, when you flick it, it's not going to inflict any damage, and a lightning shot, which is another form of range shot. Okay? So here are the monster pieces here. They've been placed on the playmat. Okay? And something that's a bit different about this game versus Catacombs 3E is that when you're going to perform the shots indicated on a monster's card, you can only do it for 3 of those monsters. The other monsters must perform a rush shot. Okay? So if you had your level 4 blue dragon, you're going to probably want to take an action with it. Okay? So in this case, you would take this action token and you'd flip it over and you'd put it on top of the blue dragon once it's completed its shot sequence. Okay? And this is just to help you remember while the overseer is taking their turn as to which monster performed their action. So then if I wanted to perform an action with the Naga, for example, then it would be rush, and there'd be the lightning shot, which is a range shot, and then I would put this disc on the top here. Okay? And then say for the oozing maw, it would be the same thing. After it's completed its action, I would indicate that that it's taken its action in this way. Okay. Now I just happen to perform all 3 of these at once. Okay. But you don't have to use your 3 action tokens at the start of your turn. You can intersperse using the action tokens with taking a regular rush shot with the other monsters. Okay? So this helps to balance the fact that the overseer starts the game with a numerical 3-to-1 advantage relative to the heroes, but the overseer is only able to perform the full shot sequence from a limited number of the monsters under their control. Okay? So next, I want to talk about how to open crates. I'm just going to take these off, okay, because these would come off at the end of the overseer's turn anyway. Okay, and again, I just want to mention that this is all prototype. components at this point. Okay, so what you're seeing here is not necessarily final. I'm still making some adjustments, tweaking some of the shot sequences and things of that nature, okay? But to open a crate, I need to use obviously one of my heroes to do that, okay? And the first step is to declare that I'm in fact doing that. Now, there are some prerequisites for opening a crate first. So what you need is some of these monsters. Okay, so I put some monsters over here just to have them easily in front of the camera. So we have three level 1 monsters, 2 level 2 monsters, a level 4 monster, and a level 3 monster. You need a corresponding value of 3, is how I've got it in the rules at the moment, okay? So you could, hypothetically, you could have 3 level 1s, you could have a level 2 and a level 1, or you could just have a level 3, or you could just have a level 4. So let's assume it's this situation where we have the Rabbit Ranger has destroyed these monsters successfully. Now, I just want to point out here that this is another thing that's a bit different about Catacombs Third Edition. When this player would have destroyed these 2 monsters, they received the reward from that monster immediately. In Catacombs 3E, you would retain the monsters in a manner somewhat similar to what we're doing here, but you don't receive the coins until a room is completed, okay? Remember, part of the design objective with Fortress of Nazemoor is to have a lot of fun playing a single room of Catacombs Third Edition, okay? So back to the example of opening a crate. So I've got my 2 monsters here that total 3, 1 level 1 and 1 level 2, okay? Now, I have to declare that I'm opening a crate. Right, this is what I want to attempt to do. So I take this target token piece and I place it on top of the crate that I want to attempt to open. Now I have to inflict 2 points of damage on the crate, okay? So we're looking here at the Rabbit Ranger. Their shot sequence is melee, then rush, being read from left to right. So I have to flick the Rabbit Ranger's piece like this. And you can see that I was successful. The crate moved, that's okay. And because I successfully inflicted a point of damage, then the token gets flipped over, okay, to indicate that fact. Now, the Rabbit Ranger still has a rush shot, so he proceeds to perform that, okay? Now, technically, his turn would be over, okay? But assuming that the other 2 heroes in the party have not taken an action, he can call upon them to assist in opening the crate. Okay, so in this particular case, we have the healer. Okay, she has this shot sequence of move to rune and then melee. Okay, so she will do that. Now, it just so happens that she's almost directly adjacent to a rune, so she just simply moves there, no flicking required, and then she has a melee shot, okay? And she's was successful at hitting the crate and inflicting that 2nd point of damage, okay? So now the crate's been opened, okay? And what happens? So we leave the crate piece there for the moment. I mean, we can leave this on the top, just for illustrative purposes, so people remember which one we're discussing here, okay? So now what happens is we have to resolve a crate card. And the crate cards are over here, okay? Now, there's 6 crates that are placed at the start of the game. There's 6 crates, 12 of these crate cards. So, again, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you can choose which crate card you would like to take, and furthermore, you can see which cards are coming up in the future. So mathematically, you're not going to get through all of the crate cards in a particular game, but having that 2-to-1 ratio gives you a nice selection to work with and plenty of replayability too, because you're not going to see all of the cards. Okay, so we basically got a choice here between a level 1 assistant, another level 1 assistant, or a level 2 assistant. Okay, so it's actually pretty good that I got a level 2 assistant right at the top of the stack here. So this would be a logical one that I would be taking. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take this level 2 assistant crate card, and I'm just going to flip it over there. Okay, and that indicates that it's been resolved. And then I take the assistant of my choice. Now, not getting into all the kind of setup rules around this, but these are the assistants that I can choose from, okay? And in this case, I've got the Ninja, okay? I'm gonna choose the Ninja, because out of the 4 that I have. And now I have to choose, or take rather, the level 2 card. So that's the level 2 card for the Ninja. So I put the other cards back. And now we have a level 2 card for the Ninja, and that's going to be placed with the Rabbit Ranger. So it goes right here. Okay, and now the Rabbit Ranger has an assistant. Okay, so here's my Ninja piece right here. And what I'm gonna do is I remove the crate and I replace it with the assistant. Okay, and I move the crate over onto the Rabbit's portrait card. Now I also have to technically spend these monster cards, or monster pieces rather, spend in quotes. These 2 get moved over here as well. And this is just a little mnemonic that helps remind you that these were the monster pieces that the Rabbit Ranger had successfully eliminated and been rewarded for. And now it's been allocated for the purposes of opening the crate. Okay? Now, the other thing here is that we had the healer. She helped to open the crate, and she also gets some benefit for doing that, okay? So opening a crate requires quite a bit of effort, okay? And it's almost like a scoring phase in the game. Kind of think of it like that. So several things happen. So for the healer, she gets to draw 3 item cards. Okay, so here they are. There's a Morning Star rune necklace and flame staff. Now, if we look at the healer, we note, for example, that because she's of type spellcaster, she can't use weapons. So that means to say she can't even use the Morning Star anyway. So the choice now is really between the rune necklace and the flame staff, okay? And she'll opt to buy the flame staff because she has 9 gold coins, okay? And she'll cash those in and she'll buy the flame staff and it will go there. And these 2 just get shuffled back into the deck again. They just get returned to the bottom, okay? And then these coins would be removed and she's only got 1 left, okay? And now she has the flame staff. So that's the benefit. So just to review, the Rabbit Ranger got the Ninja Assistant. The Ninja Assistant is now on the board, but for assisting, the healer also got a new item, okay? So sometimes it's beneficial for the hero party to split up the job of opening a crate to be able to maximize that benefit, okay? Now, the assistant is been introduced to the game, is on the playmat, and when it is the player's turn that controls the Rabbit Ranger, they can choose whether the Rabbit Ranger takes their action first, in other words, performs their shot sequence on their Hero's Rules card, or whether the assistant goes first. And that's the hero shot sequence, the assistant shot sequence right there. Okay, so you have a choice, whichever one is going to go first. But you can't take one shot with the Rabbit Ranger and then another shot with the assistant back and forth. You have to do it all in one, okay? Now, the health of the assistant is integrated with the health of the hero. Okay, so that's the pluses and minuses, benefits and detriments of the assistants. Okay, the assistant provides extra firepower, extra shot sequence for the player controlling it. However, in effect, they have two discs now on the playmat that can be damaged by the Overseer, and they have this now shared health track. Okay. Now, it's also possible for the Overseer to open crates. Okay, and that is conducted in the same manner that I described for the heroes. Okay, and they get to take a crate card, and if, for example, they were recruiting an assistant, they would be recruiting an assistant from one of the Overseer assistants shown here. Okay, instead of buying an item, the Overseer has the opportunity to buy a new monster from the monster market. Okay, so this is the alternative to summon shots in Catacombs Third Edition. Okay, so the Overseer buys a new monster from the monster market. Right, and when they buy the monster, they only get one instance of that monster's disc. Okay, so for example, they were to buy the Hobgoblin, that's a level 1 monster, they would get one Hobgoblin disc. They don't get all 4 of them. Okay, it's not like the monster meters in Catacombs Third Edition. Okay, so now you can see how these monster market cards work. So we've opened the crate, and now the Overseer chooses which monster they would like to buy. So these are the monsters from each level that are available. So it's not a top deck operation. You would know publicly that there would be these 2 that you'd have available to purchase. These 2 level 1s, these 2 level 3s, these 2 level 2s, these 2 level 4s. Okay? The Overseer's money will accumulate more slowly over the course of the game than that of the heroes. So it's usually in their strategic interest to buy the most expensive monster that they can afford. And if they can get a level 4, it's probably a good idea to be able to do it. Okay? So when buying a monster, I'll just take you through the card. You can see here, like if, for example, they wanted to buy like a level 2 monster, they would have to spend 4 coins. Placing that monster on a random rune is free. They would roll the rune die. Or if they want to specify the location, they would pay 1 coin for the move to rune action. Okay? They also have the option, if they had an assistant, to relink it. I'm not going to get into that aspect of the assistant relinks right now, but it's an important opportunity under certain circumstances. And this is equally important where the monster can take an immediate action. Remember what I said about these tokens, where you can only activate a monster's full shot sequence according to the number of these tokens that you have. If you're purchasing a new monster, sometimes for these level 1s, you want them to be able to, especially because they only have 1 health, you want them to be able to take an immediate action. So it's worth it to spend that extra coin. They'll immediately perform that shot sequence outside of this system of having the action tokens. Okay? So hopefully this gives you a sense as to how the game is played. Again, to summarize, this Fortress of Nazemoor is compatible with Catacombs Third Edition and expands it. Heroes, monsters, Catacomb Lords from Catacombs Third Edition can be used in Fortress and vice versa. Okay? The main difference is that in Fortress, you're playing one of these rooms on the playmat, and then you stop and you either start the game again with a brand new party, or you have the option to save the game and continue the game with the same party on a different map at a later time. Okay? So when I was, just as a side note about the design, when I was at conventions and I was showing Catacombs Third Edition to players, especially new prospective players, I noticed how much they enjoyed the game even when they only played one room, because that's really all we had for time. When you're at a convention in a busy environment, people want to move on and see something else. So even just playing one room, though, they had a lot of fun and got a good feel for how the game worked. So this is not quite as fast, obviously, as playing just one room in Catacombs Third Edition, because you have the crates involved, and you're probably starting with slightly more monsters than you would normally in a game of Catacombs Third Edition. But overall, I find it provides a good, solid, satisfying game and quite a different experience to Catacombs Third Edition. I think both games complement each other very, very well. And I sincerely hope that you enjoy playing it. And if you're backing the Kickstarter campaign, I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you very much.